Hello, I'm John Malos, and welcome to Connect with Me here on MeTV Fresno, Comcast 187 and 43.6 if you have an antenna. It's Monday morning, live from the showroom floor at Ventura TV. Glad you could be along with us for the ride. We have mystery guest number 1 today, and you know what? We have mystery guest number 2. They both work in the media, well, at least one used to. We'll give you all the details when we come back live here on Connect with Me.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
Today it's on the air, off the presses. We have a member of the media and a second member of the media here on Connect with Me. It's mystery guest number 1. We're going to talk about him. You know, if you do want to call in the program, you're more than welcome to. The telephone number is area code 559-265-4331. It only took me about 3 weeks to actually memorize that telephone number, 265-4331, if you want to be a part of the program. Well, you know, this person that we're going to be talking to momentarily has been kind of absent from the media for a few years, but he's kind of dabbles in it and then gets out of it and dabbles in it again. But I think you remember him mostly from KSEE 24. He was the weatherman there. And then I worked with him at KMPH as the weekend weatherman. I know you remember the face, and a lot of people have been asking,
Florida,
what happened to this guy? Did you read Rick
someone you may not recognize right off,
what
but someone who helped
George? I know you remember him, but I'll bet you don't remember him this way. Just watch.
build the organization from the ground up. It's Chief Bender, Director of Player Personnel.
The beat, even though the Dodgers won last year, they're going to have to get us.
A few exhibition games were played today around the circuit. The Reds opened play Saturday against a Pittsburgh Pirates lineup. The Pirates finished 5 games behind the Phillies last season. Right there, that's Dale Berra in the batting cage. One big off-season trade for Pittsburgh, Al Oliver to the Texas Rangers for Bert Blyleven. And we'll be back with boxing and with a boxing sports quiz after this. Heavyweight champ Leon Spinks has been suspended for 90 days by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for fighting with a rib injury when he went up against Ali. Spinks cannot fight for the next 90 days wherever the World Boxing Council has jurisdiction, but he didn't plan to anyway. Our TV2 sports quiz tonight looks at past heavyweight champs. First, we go back to 1952. We see Rocky Marciano and Jersey Joe Walcott. This bout makes Marciano the heavyweight champ. Now, in all of boxing, only 2 heavyweights retired undefeated as champions. Marciano was one of them. Who was the other? Was it Joe Louis, Jack Dempsey, or Gene Tunney? Chris?
And of course, that was the one and only George Mason, and here he is live in the studio. Don't cover your face. Don't be embarrassed. That was great stuff. That was what, the 70s?
Yes. I was 34 years old, and it was 34 years ago. So that was halfway to this, you know, when you stop and figure it out.
Thanks for being here, George. I appreciate it. All right, George Mason, of course, is our guest here on Connect with Me. Whatever happened to, we're going to find out in just a moment. Stay tuned. The number to call is 265-4331. Back in a moment.
Man.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Welcome back to Connect with Me. I'm John Malos, and of course our special guest today is George Mason. George, I saw the article in the Bee. Yeah. Whatever happened to George Mason? That was the question in Rick Bentley's column. So what are you doing now?
Whatever happened to Larry King? When your people called my people, they said, "Hey, it'd be Larry King." I said, "Well, sure, I'll be there."
Wait a minute. You know I don't have any people. I make my own phone calls. I don't.
All right, yeah, on my cell all the time. Yeah. Okay. What was the? I'm sorry. The question.
What do you do? A lot of people were calling, I guess, Rick to find out what you were up to, what you're doing now.
Now, well, I came out of retirement, as it is, and if I can give the ID,
Sure.
This is NPR for Central California, KVPR Fresno, KPRX Bakersfield, and online at kvpr.org. That's what I'm doing now.
All right, and you also work as like the publicist for the what is it? The Mac users here in the Central Valley.
Yeah, the Fresno Macintosh Users Group, and if I might.
Yeah, go ahead.
Especially since about a month ago you said I could. Hello.
What does that say?
FresnoMug.com, just the website. Tomorrow night we're having a meeting inviting all, and on the iPad, operations of the iPad, and some special apps and so forth.
You're just Mac crazy. I mean, you have an iPhone, an iPad. You wear it on your forehead.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so what about broadcasting? Are you happy to be away from? I know you work at KVPR, but it's not the same thing as doing the news or the weather.
You're right.
Are you happy to be away?
Yes.
Because?
Well, because until they invented the golf ball, I don't know how they measured hail. So I never could figure that one out, and I gave myself 20, 30, 40 years to figure it out. Golf balls, high as hail, John. I just couldn't figure it out. No, it was just good. It was time. It was time to get away. You know, the makeup and everything else. And
tell us about that piece that we saw there. That was Dayton, Ohio, the one that we previously
over
saw
southern Michigan, northern Indiana, and northern Ohio that brought all.
Is that how you started?
WDTN Channel 2. No, this was following, we'll put some people to sleep here, but I'll try not to do that for too long.
No.
Was up at a magnificent community in northern Michigan, Traverse City. Got to go there sometime. 2 or 3 years there doing some radio. I think I was, 27, 28 years old. Went to Cincinnati for a while in the 70s, and then just up the road, about 50, 60 miles up the road, went to a sister station there in Dayton to work full-time there to do sports, weather, TV booth announcers. We used to have those.
Yeah, no longer.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah. You got to interview Pete Rose several times, right?
Right, yeah. I can remember being in the dugout with Pete Rose once and just sitting there during a workout. This is at the old Riverfront Stadium, which doesn't exist anymore now. It's a parking lot. The stadium's next door. And we were looking out, and the Philadelphia Phillies were working out. And he says, if I ever leave this team, meaning the Reds, he says, I'm going to be playing for them.
And he did.
He did.
He did. He actually went to the Phillies.
I could have had the scoop and didn't recognize the scoop when I had one.
So you were in Dayton for how long, approximately? 7
years. 77 to 83, and then came out here.
Yeah.
But this is all following a lot of earlier radio and so forth. I'm just, you ask about getting out of television. I've said this before, and publicly and otherwise. I'm a radio guy that happened to be on TV. There's a big difference between radio and television. There really is. The radio, the mystery of it, the intimacy of it, and you grow up listening to all these shows in the 50s and 40s. I'm dating myself, at least the 60s and the 50s. And you wanted to picture the way things were. Television, it kind of shows you the way things are. It's okay. It's okay, but it's not me.
Right. I can tell you one thing that drove me crazy back in the 70s. Station I was working at in Sacramento, they sent me to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, to meet with the consultants. Magid. Okay. Did the consultants drive you crazy like they drove me? Your tie's not straight. Your coat isn't the right color. Your hair isn't this way.
Yeah.
Did they drive you batty?
Yeah, and I suppose there's a long story behind that, and the second guest today was there when when things happened in '88. No longer at Channel 24. They had to find a reason. I was it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, now let's keep it out of the papers. I'll walk. Give me severance, and I did. That was in April of '88. And ever since then, doing this and that. And
do you think the consultants
regretting most of it, but some of it not.
Do you think the consultants have too much of a hand in what goes on in local news?
Well, here again, I can only speak to the way things were and the way talent thought the way things were. And the way we saw it was management and news directors don't have a spine to make a decision. And so they let the consultants come in and do the hiring and the firing and ordering the multi-thousand-million-dollar sets and all that kind of thing. So that's the short answer. Whether it's right or not, I don't know, but I think it is.
Hey, let's take a trip back in time, okay?
Oh my, yeah.
Dayton, Ohio, doing weather this time. We've got a little bit of tape of George Mason in Dayton, Ohio, doing weather. Let's roll
All the weather
it.
to this area, and even more severe weather up into Michigan, where tornadoes were sighted near Detroit, actually. Right here in Dayton, Ohio, 1 1/3 inches of rain approximately. Near Nashville, near the Nashville airport, winds were clocked at 100 miles per hour. Down at Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the southern portions of that city got 4 inches of rain out of one storm. Meanwhile, out west, you wouldn't think so with what we see from the afternoon satellite shot, but in Wyoming and Colorado and Nebraska, golf ball size hail and some reports of baseball season out there with baseball size hail in those western states. Weather Check Precision Radar right now showing rain continuing in this area. This is Dayton. This would be Springfield, Beaver Creek about here, and Xenia here. This would be Wilmington and Middletown. And you can see where the rain is and where the more, well, let's say the heavier rain is right now. And that crescent shape right there. This is moving to the south and southeast very slowly. Not dissipating, actually. It's been with us for some time and will continue in the southern and western suburbs for some time.
Oh my, how technology has changed. Just look at that. Look at the lavalier mic. Of course, you don't have those anymore like that.
And the graphics, those were outstanding graphics. You know,
oh,
anybody
yeah.
just tuning in thinking, what is this? I'm the Dayton, Ohio. What is this? You know,
Yeah, I know. Is this? Are we watching
Hey, the weather was right
Mason on MeTV now? What's going on?
I don't know how bad or good that was, but it was good enough to get me a job and get me to California. So,
Hey, we've got to wrap it up to take a little commercial break here, and we're going to be back with our conversation with George Mason right here. You're watching Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno on Comcast Channel 187 Live. We'll be back in a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the low-price leading brand's reliable advice place. The Frigidaire Gallery Dream Kitchen Get Yours Today place. You with me? Right now, get huge savings on select Frigidaire Gallery appliances and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months at the hometown low-price think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Sunday night.
Let's move.
A perfect night for crime. A perfect night for me.
You've got to help me.
Me TV, that is. With detectives,
My name is Gunn.
fugitives,
I didn't kill her.
guns, surly,
This is the Twilight Zone.
and much, much more.
You'll go along with that, won't you?
Sunday Night Noir, starting at 10/9 Central on Me TV.
Hey, welcome back to Connect with Me here on MeTV Fresno. I'm here with George Mason, and we also have another guest. We'll be introducing him in just a moment. But first, I want to take you back in time. George Mason used to work as a weatherman at KSEE 24, one of your favorite stations here in Fresno. Let's take a look back in time at George at KSEE.
In Death Valley, got all the way down to, he said, 114 degrees today. That's better than 122 or so it was last week at about this time. Tonight at 6 o'clock, we're at 96 degrees, the dew point 55. Our humidity 26 here. This compares with Chicago, Illinois at this hour, 79 degrees with a humidity at 45%. Our air quality today was moderate. Tomorrow should also be moderate. Tomorrow is a no-burn day for ag purposes below 2,000 feet. Now, the pollen count today was poor, and it was pine, grass, and chamise in the sample for the most part. Here are the highs today. Well, are they up or down? A little bit down. Fresno, 98, up from actually 95 yesterday. Merced, a little warmer today. That ocean air in the valley is no longer having the effect it did have. Actually, it's more or less leaving the valley. We'll show you why in just a moment. By the way, on this graphic, we're going north to south in the valley. And going to the mountains here, we're going from the higher elevations to the lower. And these temperatures are about as they should be for this time of year. And this will explain a little bit why we're not getting the ocean air that we were getting yesterday and the day before. If you can visualize on this satellite view today, all of this is high pressure under this, and actually all the way back down here.
All right, George Mason at KSEE 24 back in the 80s?
that would have been the 80s,
Yeah.
Early 80s. That was also, you might be able to tell, it's back when I had chronic voice problems. Got rid of those. That's another story. But that's back at where the Channel 18 studios are now.
Right.
It's Van Ness and Calaveras, before KSEE made the move with Bud Elliot and others in the summer of 1987 to McKinley, where we are now. I guess it's still we.
I want to introduce, of course, Bud Elliot. Bud, move in just a little closer so everybody can see you there. Bud Elliot, of course, used to work with George Mason, former co-worker.
Bud.
Let's see in that tape. It's just like yesterday.
Let's get him out of here and do a newscast, Bud. Get him out of here. Okay.
See you guys later.
Back to you, Bud.
Let's get Mike Gleason in here and do sports, and by golly, we'll
get Stephanie in here.
That's right. Get Stephanie.
Sit next to you.
I'll get Gleason.
So how was this guy to work with?
He was great. He was, I came to Fresno in January of '87, and George was doing the weather already at Channel 24, and that was the team. It was Stephanie and George, Mike Gleason, and myself, and we did that for a good long time. And seeing the tape that we just saw a minute ago is just like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I got to say, and I'm not here to, pat too many people on the back.
No, go ahead. Here, let me turn, Bob.
I got to say, the team of you and Stephanie Baruchin, it was just the best. And I arrived in Fresno in '96, and I thought you were the best anchor team here.
Steph and I did it for 14 years. So, we thought we had it down pretty well, but management didn't. So
you too, huh?
Yeah, so we made some changes.
How do you like being back on KSEE?
I love it. It's I never thought that I would get another opportunity to be at Channel 24 or any other TV station after I left in 2001. But lo and behold, I did, and it's it's a whole new. It's like starting a career all over again. It's just great.
Yeah, he's a good guy, isn't he? He's a little weird, but he's good.
Yeah,
he's
weird.
good.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
Weird will get you a long way in life.
Well, I know it will.
These weathermen, they're all weird.
They're all weird.
Yeah, I know.
But they're all great too.
I know.
And George was one of the best.
I always wanted to be somebody, but I should have been more specific. That's the story of my life. There.
I want to ask you. You served in Vietnam. Did you?
1967, right? Cambodian linguist, 1967.
And what did you do in Vietnam? What was your assignment?
To be listening to Cambodian and trying to translate it. This was a secret back then, all the radio intercept and everything. But then it turned out the Cambodians, a neighboring country, obviously. When I signed up for the Army in '65, they said, "Oh, take these language tests." So I took them and said, "Oh, give us your priorities." I said, "Oh, sure, Spanish, Russian, French." Came back. My fifth choice, which I didn't even know where Cambodia was. Where is it in Africa? Nobody knew at that time.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the long and the short of that.
Did that?
The Cambodians, their military communications were mostly in French. It was only the border patrols that were in Cambodia.
So is that where your interest began in media? Right there, radio, TV. I don't know.
No, that was before that. That was as a teenager upstairs listening to radio on the crystal set and earphones and making one-tube radios and things. That's where it started.
Where did you get interested?
In high school, I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I remember I was a junior in high school, and I had an opportunity to get a job as an afternoon disc jockey at the one of the local rock and roll stations, the number 2 station. It was KLOS AM. Now, I know there's a big KLOS FM down in L.A., but this was AM back in 1965 when I was a junior in high school in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And that's where it started.
Well, we're talking with the one and only George Mason and the one and only Bud Elliot, both here on our set live here on Connect With Me on MeTV Fresno. We're going to take a commercial break, do a little selling, and we're going to be back in just a moment. The phone number, I have no calls yet, 265-4331. We're back in just a jiffy.
MeTV presents a Comfort TV musical moment.
Once there was a man named Oscar. Oscar. He wore his clothes.
Is that what you're doing now?
Oscar.
George, I apologize for holding
Go to your room.
Oscar. The Odd Couple, weeknights at 9:30, 8:30 Central on MeTV.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified, ready, steam-equipped, high-efficiency Frigidaire affinity place. You heard right.
Yeah.
Right now, save big on select Frigidaire laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Newscasts for their,
MeTV's real detectives don't need to go high-tech.
There might have been some sort of special tool required, you know what I mean?
They don't need smartphones.
We're in business. They're coming your way.
They don't need email.
I don't need a program to figure out why.
They don't need the internet.
You didn't really just pick my name out of the phone book. It's in the yellow pages.
They solve crimes the old-fashioned way. Kojak, the Rockford Files. Weekdays on MeTV. Brought to you by Ventura TV.
Connect with me. I'm John Malos here on the showroom floor, here with Hector Coronado, one of the salespeople, and we have a flat screen TV that we're going to try to sell here today. Tell us about this one right here.
This is our 32-inch flat panel TV that's actually a combo unit.
Okay. And a combo unit means what? What are we combining here, Hector?
This is a 32-inch TV with a built-in DVD player.
Okay, so you don't have to buy the extra DVD player. It's already there.
Yeah, got a lot of people mount these on the wall so they can't figure out how to use that DVD player, so now it's built into it and easy access.
32 inches is perfect for, say, the kitchen, maybe the bedroom, whatnot.
A lot of people use it in the kitchen. A lot of people use it in the bedroom. That's usually the common area is the bedroom.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, hey, a 32-inch or a 27-inch or a 21-inch was great for the living room. Now it's like, it's a small screen.
When I was a kid, there was no TV.
Well, that must have been a long time ago.
Definitely.
Anyway, any other great features about this one?
Yeah, it's got a hookup on there. It's called a JPEG, and you can actually, if you go vacation, you can actually plug in your camcorder and you can do like a slideshow, or you can do a pause on it where you can see pictures. So it's a really good unit, really good unit.
All right. The big question is, a lot of people want to know, in this day and age when they buy a flat screen, can I hang this on the wall?
Definitely. There is a wall mount that's available. There's a couple different wall mounts available. You can just put it flat on there. You can do a swivel, just depending on the room, how you want it to set up. But yes, you can take it off the base that comes with it, and you can hang it on the wall.
Yeah. Most of these flat screens now, you can hang just about any of them on the wall, right?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of TVs that are wall mountable, and this is definitely one of them.
Okay. What are you looking at in terms of price?
This actually is out there available in similar models and combo units for about $499. That's usually our regular price. Our sale price is $349, but right now for our viewers out there, we're going to do this at $319, which is a heck of a deal.
Yeah. Okay. $319. I'm getting hungry watching this program right here, by the way. How does that compare to the other box stores?
Similar models are about $499. Exactly. I was looking this morning, and they are at $499 for different brands out there, but with the same features. So, we have it at $349, but right now for our viewers, we're going to do $319, which is really great buy.
That's a great buy. Sylvania is the brand, and how do you do it day in and day out here at Ventura?
We buy in bulk. We're with Nationwide, and we're able to get great pricing, and then we roll that pricing over to the customers, and then everybody's happy. Especially nowadays where things are so expensive, we try to keep the cost down.
Yeah, that's a good price for this 32-incher. Thank you, Hector.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Ventura TV, this one $319, good for the Connect With Me viewers through noon tomorrow. The big question is, how do you get here? Hey, we're 10 minutes from River Park if you come down 41, another 10 minutes from Clovis if you want to hit us on the 168, and then it's a very short jaunt off of Highway 99. Good through noon tomorrow, a 32-inch for $319. Back with more of George Mason and Bud Elliot in just a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high-efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
From the comic book to the TV screen,
Better let us handle this.
the dynamic duo comes to life on MeTV.
All right, you are.
It's Batman,
Batman.
fighting foes with fearsome faces.
Oh, dear me, yes.
Batman, Saturdays at 7, 6 Central on MeTV.
Hooray for me!
Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.
Back here on Connect With Me, I'm John Malos. This is George Mason, and Bud Elliot has joined us as well. These two used to work together at KSEE 24 quite a long time before I came to Fresno. I came to Fresno in '96, and he was anchoring with Stephanie Barusian, but
in '87.
In '87, that's right.
And you can see who's retired and who's not. Look at this. Look at this. Right.
Anyway, this is Seniors Day here at Connect with Me, by the way.
Right. Who are you talking about?
I don't know.
I'm only 68.
I think he's right.
Can we turn around and look at this piece of video of you? Look at there's a little montage.
Hey,
Ara, go ahead and roll this on Seniors Day. Go ahead.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing. Everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere could you get that happy feeling when you are feeling that extra power. There's no people like show people. They smile when they are low. Even with the turkey that you know will go, you may be stranded out in the cold.
Why don't you start throwing some snowballs around?
Yeah, we got smacked by
Just a
one.
little bit.
I think I got a glimpse of Stephanie Barusian right there on the far left. Is that right, Bud?
That's exactly right. That was Steph in one of her early hairdos.
Yeah.
She's had a few.
You know, she still looks great.
She does.
I mean, she looks fantastic.
She's been at the station, I guess, over 30 years. Because she'd been there for quite a while when I arrived 25 years ago. So, yeah, she's...
Well, when I got there in '83, she was the producer of the 6 o'clock news. Wasn't even on camera or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she developed on air and was it looked very. I mean, she looked mature even at a very young age when she was with you.
Yeah. And now she looks young.
Yeah.
And so does Faith Sidlow, who I'm working with now in the morning. She's been there almost as long as, I think, a year less than Steph. So
I've got to ask you this because I look at my career and I have many regrets. Any regrets?
1, 2, 3. No, really. I've counted about 7, but I'm working them back down, so I don't worry about them anymore. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I wish, that I would have stayed at a job longer, a previous job that I had, another city, this and that. And then I look back and I go, my life is pretty good now. So what about you, Bud? Do you ever do that? Do you ever wonder yourself?
You do, but you can drive yourself crazy, second guessing yourself in your career choices. This business is just full of bumps and bruises anyway, but I don't regret any of them, and I really wouldn't change much of anything. I've especially had a wonderful run in Fresno. I worked a lot of other places before I landed in Fresno, in Richmond, Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, Jacksonville, Denver for a long time. But the run in Fresno has been about the best, and I wouldn't change anything. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, after a while, you just get tired of moving vans, and where you are, you are.
You're right. I mean, I got tired of that back in the late 80s, early 90s. I felt like I was, packing up and moving every few months. It was not pretty.
No, especially when you've got kids. If you don't have kids, fine, you're a little more footloose and fancy free. When you finally have a family and it's time to put down some roots, you got to stick with it. And because it's not fair to the kids to move them, 10 different cities in 10 different years. It's just not right.
After seeing him, you've got to miss doing the weather.
Come on, George. Come on.
Come on.
I miss him and Steph, but I do not miss doing the weather a whit, not one whit.
You don't
every
miss
now and
him
then,
tossing it to you?
No. Well, that I miss, as long as I wouldn't have to do it. Then that would be fine. Every now and then I'll say, all right, tell me what it's... I'll watch these other guys. And I'm the guy that doesn't have to be embarrassed the next morning because it didn't rain when it was supposed to. See?
That's true.
Free.
Yeah, it all comes down on the weatherman. It doesn't come down on the newsman. It comes down on the weatherman.
That's true. So you're doing KVPR right now. Tell us quickly what days you're on and what times. We're under 30 seconds now.
Thank you very much. Classical music DJ, if you will. I really, really enjoyed an opportunity to learn. Thursday afternoons and Friday afternoons, and then voicing the Cincinnati, look at me, the Fresno Philharmonic and so forth.
And Bud is on in the morning, KD24, and on Kino Radio. And Bud, we're going to have you back in just a few weeks.
Thank you very much. And George, I apologize for jumping in on your show.
Oh, that's fine.
See you tomorrow.
It was ours.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the low-price leading brands reliable advice place. The Whirlpool Dream Kitchen Get Yours Today place. Check this out. Right now, get huge savings on select Whirlpool appliances and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Do you like me?
Just like me.
Like Me TV Fresno on Facebook. Get the latest news, interact with others, watch videos, become a fan of me. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.